everyone, and welcome back to the deep dive. You know how sometimes you just feel blah blah, like you're missing that extra gear?
I think we all know that feeling.
Well, get ready, because today we're diving into a topic you specifically requested, and it might just be the key to unlocking a little more oomph in your life.
Ooh, unlocking oomph. Sounds promising. What's on the agenda today?
We're talking all about nitric oxide.
Nitric oxide. Now, that's one of those things that many people might not be familiar with, but
Yeah,
it's actually crucial for our bodies to function properly.
absolutely. And, we love to go deep here, so we're tackling this one because you were curious about a specific supplement, VigRX Nitric Oxide Support from topnaturalhealth.com. You've been digging into men's health lately and sent this our way.
Right, and it's a great example of how a product catches your eye with some big claims, but what's the science actually say?
Exactly. So full disclosure, this isn't a thumbs up or thumbs down on this particular product. Think of this deep dive as your crash course on nitric oxide. We'll break down what it is, why it should matter to you, and if something like VigRX Nitric Oxide Support could actually make a difference.
And for anyone listening who wants to check out the supplement itself, you can head over to topnaturalhealth.com.
They've even got some special promo code pricing happening, just for our listeners. Okay, so back to the main event. Nitric oxide. What is this stuff?
Imagine this. Your circulatory system is like a network of highways, right? The blood vessels are the roads, and the blood cells are all the cars zooming around.
Okay, I'm visualizing it.
So nitric oxide is like the signaling molecule directing the traffic and making sure everything flows smoothly.
And I'm remembering from the article, this whole traffic direction thing plays a pretty key role in men's sexual health, right?
You're spot on. One of the nitric oxide's claims to fame is its role in erections. Basically, it tells those blood vessels to relax, open up, which allows for, shall we say, increased blood flow to, well, you get the idea.
Makes sense, yeah. And I think there was even a line in the article. It was like, weak nitric oxide levels, trouble in the bedroom. Not exactly subtle.
Well, hey, sometimes you need to be direct.
Right, no need to sugarcoat it. But it does make me wonder, does nitric oxide do anything else besides that, asking for a friend?
Oh, absolutely. It's a busy little molecule. We've talked about blood flow, which is obviously important for a healthy heart, but research has also linked nitric oxide to things like better athletic performance. It even plays a role in how our brains function. There's evidence suggesting it helps with memory and learning.
Wow, okay, so this is sounding less like a niche men's health thing and more like something everyone should be paying attention to.
It really is foundational.
And speaking of things we all experience aging, didn't we see something about how we naturally produce less nitric oxide as we get older?
You've got a great memory. Yeah, it's true. As we age, our bodies just don't produce as much nitric oxide.
So is that why I can never remember where I put my keys?
Well, there could be a connection. This decline in nitric oxide can contribute to a lot of those common getting older complaints, low energy, slower recovery time, even those senior moments.
Hold on, are you saying forgetting where I put my keys could be linked to low nitric oxide? That's both fascinating and terrifying at the same time.
It's definitely an area where more research is being done.
Okay, we are going to need to unpack that a bit more, because if it's true, I need to stock up on sticky notes. Okay, so we're all experiencing this gradual decline in nitric oxide as we age, and it's potentially linked to all these things we think of as just part of getting older. Which brings us back to that supplement you were curious about, VigRX Nitric Oxide Support. Is that where a supplement could step in and help fill the gap?
That's the idea they're going for. The article you sent listed the key ingredients as L-arginine, L-citrulline, and then this thing called the Veloxa formula.
Velox. Honestly, that sounds more like the name of a sports drink.
Right. A lot of these proprietary blends use pretty flashy names. But don't let the marketing fool you. The science isn't always as exciting. But let's start with what we do know. L-arginine and L-citrulline are the ingredients in VigRX that relate to nitric oxide.
Okay, so in plain English, what do those actually do?
Think of L-arginine as the basic building block of nitric oxide. Our bodies can take L-arginine and convert it into nitric oxide, which gives those levels a boost. And here's where it gets kind of clever. Our bodies convert L-citrulline into, you guessed it, L-arginine.
I see. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal on nitric oxide boosters. Clever indeed. But what about that Velox formula? The article mentioned it's a patented blend. Does that mean it's some secret ingredient they discovered?
Not quite. A patented blend just means they've combined some ingredients in a way that's legally protected. It doesn't necessarily mean it's any better or more effective. Plus, they don't have to tell you the exact amount of each ingredient in that blend.
Wait, So they could be putting in a tiny amount of something that sounds really impressive, and we'd have no idea.
That's the problem with these blends, lack of transparency. It's hard to know if the ingredients are actually present in significant enough amounts to be beneficial.
Okay, so we've got these ingredients, some with a clearer link to nitric oxide production than others. But does any of this actually work? Didn't the article mention some studies?
They did. They highlighted one study in particular that explored the connection between L-citrulline and better erections. There's always a but, right? This particular study only looked at 24 men.
24? That doesn't seem like very many.
Exactly. It's a very small sample size. It might be promising, but it's definitely not conclusive. More research is needed for sure.
So not exactly a scientific slam dunk for VigRX then. What about L-arginine and L-citrulline in general? Is there good evidence to support taking those?
There is a growing body of research looking at both of those. Some studies have shown positive results, and not just for sexual health, but for things like blood pressure and exercise performance too. But, and this is important, research is always evolving. We have to be open to new findings and avoid thinking of any one study as the be-all and end-all.
So while there might be some potential there, it's definitely not a quick fix. You can't just pop a pill and erase years of maybe not making the healthiest choices.
100%.
Hmm.
Supplements are meant to supplement a healthy lifestyle, not replace it.
You can't outrun a bad diet, as they say. Or in this case, maybe you can't out-supplement a bunch of bad habits. So what can someone do if they want to try and boost their nitric oxide naturally? Where do you even start?
It's actually simpler than you might think, and you don't need any fancy supplements. We talked about how our bodies use L-arginine to make nitric oxide, right? Well, there are some foods that are naturally rich in nitrates, which our bodies can then convert into nitric oxide.
Hold on. Nitrates. Aren't those the things they warn you about in processed meats? That doesn't sound very healthy. Hold on. Nitrates. Aren't those the things they warn you about in processed meats? That doesn't sound very healthy.
It's easy to get caught up in those blanket statements about certain foods or nutrients. Like, yeah, we know nitrates in processed meats aren't great. But it's not like saying all carbs are bad because you ate an entire loaf of bread once and felt awful. It's all about context. There are good sources of nitrates out there, and they can actually have some real benefits for our bodies.
Okay, I'm willing to keep an open mind. So where can we find these good nitrates?
Think leafy greens, spinach, arugula. Beets are another great source.
Beets, really?
Oh, yeah. Beets are packed with nitrates, and studies have shown that they can actually lower blood pressure, even improve how well you perform during exercise.
And we're talking about a noticeable difference here, not just like a placebo effect.
Nope, these are measurable benefits. And it's all thanks to the nitric oxide boost your body gets from those nitrates.
Okay, I need to add beets to my grocery list. Now. Are there any other lifestyle tweaks we can make to boost nitric oxide naturally?
Remember how we talked about how important nitric oxide is for blood flow? Well, getting your body moving, even just a brisk walk, can make a big difference. We're not talking about becoming a marathon runner here.
So just by moving our bodies, we're telling ourselves to produce more of this nitric oxide. It's that simple.
Exactly. It's like sending a memo to your circulatory system saying, hey, we need things flowing smoothly here, and nitric oxide jumps in to help out.
That's amazing. Way more appealing than trying to decode the ingredient list on a supplement bottle.
Right. Goes back to what we've been saying. There's no magic pill for health.
Yeah.
But there are simple, natural ways to support your body's own processes.
This has been a fascinating deep dive. I think a lot of us, myself included, had no idea just how important nitric oxide is for so many aspects of our health.
It's one of those unsung heroes, often overlooked, but so vital for our overall well-being.
So, to sum it up for our listeners, nitric oxide, it's essential for everything from good blood flow and, let's be honest, a healthy sex life, to having enough energy to get through the day and even keeping our minds sharp. And while supplements might seem like an easy solution, the real game changer here is making those lifestyle changes.
Exactly. Eating those nitrate-rich foods, getting that body moving, those are the things that will make a real difference in the long run.
It's about working with our bodies, not looking for shortcuts.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now, if you're still curious about that VigRX Nitric Oxide Support supplement or want to see what else is out there, head over to topnaturalhealth.com.
They've got a ton of info on there, plus those promo code deals we mentioned earlier.
Awesome. And as always, a huge thank you to you for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.